The messaging app causing controversy for the Trump administration is also being used right here in Denver. The mayor's office uses it, but only on employees' personal cell phones since it's banned on city devices. Now they say they're turning off features like the auto-delete texts. Here's Spencer Soisher.
Sometimes you just don't want people snooping in your business. Just ask the mayor's office in Denver, which uses the auto-deleting enabled encrypted texting app Signal.
Using Signal is not illegal. It's not illegal for government officials to use it. There are circumstances in which, particularly if you have the auto-delete function on, that's what creates problems.
Attorney Steve Zansberg knows a lot about the First Amendment. He says government agencies may be drawn to Signal because it allows their messages to disappear in an untraceable way.
Problem arises when government officials use such ephemeral messaging services to discuss the conduct of public business and have them auto-delete.
Signal is the messaging app that members of the Trump administration were using when they added a journalist to a chat about attack plans. Oops, they set the text to delete in 4 weeks. Denver mayor's office employees are likely not talking about war plans. The mayor's office says their Signal messages were about the actions the Trump administration was taking and how they would impact the city. But they're not allowed to have Signal on their work phones. It's not a city-approved app. So, a spokesperson for Mayor Mike Johnston says they used to have auto-delete functions on their personal phones. Now they've told staff to get rid of the auto-delete.
Under the open records law, it does not matter whether a message concerning public business is sent or received using a personal device or a city-issued device.
Jeff Roberts is the director of the Colorado Freedom of Information Coalition. He remembers when 9 News sued the city in 2023 to get text messages city employees were sending about the response to a violent hailstorm at Red Rocks.
It was the content of the messages that determined whether it was a public record or not that needed to be released when it was requested.
9 News got those public records because they existed. They weren't on Signal, and they weren't auto-deleting.
That's the problem here. It's so easy to skirt the open records law that way.
This isn't just a city thing. There's been issues with Signal at the state legislature, too. Roberts believes it's still frequently being used by lawmakers, despite a lawsuit a few years ago over legislators using Signal to violate open meetings laws.
So let's say those auto-delete features were conveniently turned on for some local officials.
Conveniently.
What happens? I mean, like, do they get in trouble or do you sue and they say, okay, that's what, they're deleted,
That's part of the problem with this, the consequences, and there really aren't enough if you ask them, because if the records don't exist, you sue for records that don't exist, you don't get what you want, and those messages that they're looking for are gone.
Yeah, we filed a lot of records requests and they just come back and say, hey, we don't have records, sorry.
Right. Not there.
That's
Signal.
what it is. Spencer Soisher, appreciate it. Thank you.